Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to a special episode of GBNR in partnership with Amazon Prime Video. In this episode, we're putting on our analyst's hat. One of us has been disinvited from the trio as a result of requiring an analyst's hat.
It involves talking about rugby.
It involves talking about rugby. We're going to be dissecting the good, the bad, and everything in between from this weekend's rugby. Great to have it back, and Rugby Cathedral's full to the brim once again. And at the end of the show, we are hoping to have a list of 1 to 15 that will make up our team of the week. A massive thanks to Amazon for making this all possible, and a reminder that you can watch and catch the Autumn Nations series action live on Prime Video over the course of the next few weekends. Where would you like to begin, Mike?
Let's begin at the start. Someone said that's a very good place to start.
I think that's Sound of Music.
Yeah. It is. I was actually watching on the way up Lady Gaga's first performance when she did a remix of all the songs in front of Maria herself, Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews.
Yeah. We digress at
Captain
the start
Von Trapp.
before we've even started.
I modelled myself on Captain Von Trapp.
Let's start with the New Zealand-Italy game. Very slow start, I thought.
Slow, or were Italy good and stubborn?
No, I'm going to go slow.
Okay.
Because as good as Italy were at getting over ball and nosing ball, I spotted what happened with the Kiwis.
Yeah. Hit me.
It's a bit niche. It's the first time I've ever seen Dane Coles do the haka.
Right.
And normally when, I could see it in their eyes, normally when either TJ Perenara does it or Aaron Smith does it, the eyes are wild in every single player.
Right. Didn't think Dan had the same impact?
No, I don't think it did.
Wow.
And then that was why they were slow start, a lot of handling errors, a lot of mistakes.
Good. Got it together in the end?
Yeah, I think obviously they got it together in the end, and you always sort of knew, that's the worrying thing, is you always know it's coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, uncharacteristic All Blacks, you would say.
Anyone from that lot who you think might stumble into a team of the week? They definitely weren't at their best, but they've still got players who are... We don't have to do this.
Satutu, I thought he played well. I had him in my
Autumn Nations. How did you get on in that?
You pipped me.
Pipped?
I think I'm in 17th.
Pipped? Whipped?
You were 100 points ahead, aren't you? But it was quite easy to get those.
You reckon?
I think I was in 17th. I finished in 17th in our little league.
Yeah.
That's
halfway,
everyone can join in. I have
34.
got one. It's called the Good, the Bad, the Rugby. If you want to join in.
Is it Sinbad who's in bottom place?
Yeah, well, Sinbad is coming in, but I did only give him, when I invited him, I did only give him 20 minutes before he had to have his team.
He put one player in.
Oh, that's why.
And then didn't go back and pick the rest of his team.
That's why he struggled then. But it is Sinbad, yeah. But no, I thought you would expect their wingers to have. I had Mackenzie down there as fullback. You expect last time he played Italy, he scored a hat trick. So I was hoping he would do the same. But I do think you do have to give Italy some credit in terms of the way they defended. I thought Zanon played well for them. He might sneak into my team of the week. But a bit of a man crush on Zanon.
I do.
Yeah, I've done it. I think he's a great player. But yeah, it was slow 40 minutes, but then they got it at the canter.
Let's go up a gear or two then. Twickenham. You were at Twickenham, weren't you?
I was at Twickenham.
You have a good day, first of all.
I had a lovely day, thank you. Yeah, in the green room. It was excellent, very boisterous. Johnny Gould was unable to do the hosting, so we had Austin Healy step in, who basally just tore Clive Woodward apart in front with Clive on stage.
In the room?
No, on stage. He tore him apart. Then Clive always has a table in there, and then we carried on because obviously Clive never picked him.
How does Clive take that?
Quite well.
Does he?
Well, yeah. I mean, there are some good funny stories on Clive that we like to share, and he knows about them also. I
remember always asking Will as to whether, because Clive he's quite a lightning conductor. People will come at him and they will love what he says. He's fairly sort of symptomatic of society today. 50% love him and 50% like to get in. And Will always said, "Don't ever worry about Clive. He has a hide as thick as a rhino's. Just doesn't. It's water off a duck's back."
Yeah. It very much is, but that's the good thing. So at least he can take a joke. He doesn't mind being having a few
he's got a World Cup
arrows thrown
medal,
him.
And Austin doesn't.
Yes, that is very true. So as he always says, I made the right decision.
Great to see Twickenham back and jumping again. I had a very nice day with the Pawn Sandwich Brigade. everyone very well, which is good.
Lovely.
But just really good to see Twickenham full again, actually. And what did we make of the game?
Again, I think obviously the end result was where you'd have expected it to be, but I think it was quite sloppy for the first sort of 60 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it really, I mean, Mark Smith really sort of galvanised it. The way he plays at a line, you look at, I'm trying to think of the other example, whether it was with Finn Russell or whether it was with someone else, where you go to the line, you look like you're going to shape to kick, do a crossfield kick, but then you have the ability to change your mind and then play, and all the defences suddenly stop. In an era where defences are all about flying up on you, if you can do, these little feints, little things, and that is what Marcus Smith brings, what Finn Russell brings, what the Jalibert brings, is asking the defence genuine questions, and it creates the ability to unlock these sort of full physical defences that we get nowadays, and that's what we want to see, and that's what Marcus Smith did when he brought it on. Otherwise, I thought it was probably, they wouldn't have been particularly happy with it. I thought Radwan went really well. Yeah. Does some strange offloading though into when there's no one there. He looks inside and passed it to no one a couple of times, but no one can deny how fast and how good his feet are. I was very happy to see Johnny May go over. He was in my team, so I wish I'd made him captain because that would have been a nice 250 points or something. So I think they would be happy. I still think, even though Dombrandt wouldn't necessarily have had the best game when he came on, I still think
balance.
I'd have Curry back at. I know that the Undernors went off quite relatively early, but I just think don't mess around with it. Have Curry there. Courtney was
6 or 7.
Well, at the moment, I'd have him at 7 because Courtney's, unless you put Courtney up into the row, because I don't think Johnny Hill had his best game in a game where...
And you're losing your line-out options though, aren't you?
Well, Courtney's not a bad line-out option.
No, but if you put Courtney up into the second row, you've got a back row of Undernors, Dombrandt and Curry. It's not quite the same.
So maybe you put Curry at 7 and then you have Courtney still at 6 and you bring a genuine ball carrier. I think we just need that genuine ball carrier at 8.
Can I just say how novel and refreshing and actually really enjoyable it is to talk about rugby?
I know, it's quite...
Welcome to the rugby show that doesn't do a lot of rugby. I tell you what we are doing. We're going way off script. I can tell Shara already is saying, get back to what it was that I asked you to do. Let's pick our team then. 1 to 15, Lucy.
Lucy, my choices were between Ellis. Obviously,
he was phenomenal.
He was very, very good. And then Bai, I think it's Cyril Bai, isn't it?
Cyril Bai, yeah.
Was also excellent for France. But because he's a friend of the show and part of the show, I'm going to go with Ellis.
Looking a statesman now as well.
Yeah.
And you watch the way, because I watched him quite closely after he did the bust, I think it was for Marrow's try. You just watch the way that he then gets everyone back in again. He's got a proper...
Yeah. I think he's really relishing that captaincy role at Leicester, and it's only going to make him better at England because
there were 1 or 2 in the Royal Box who were really talking him up.
Good. Well, we've championed him for captain a long time ago.
I think hopefully not too many will disagree with Ellis on the loose head, Cyril Bai potentially on the bench. Hooker.
I went just looking through stats. I mean, hookers are quite hard to pick out a lot of the time. You need your
Jamie George with the double on return
on a double, but the double is from driving lineouts. There weren't many meters made generally elsewhere. So you either get loads of driving lineout tries and you go, he must have had a good game. I thought Marchand, I've got a sort of man crush on Marchand from France.
You've got a lot of man crushes.
Yeah, I do. But I went with Fayanga because he just had a lot of carries, a lot of meters, a lot of touches of ball, passes, didn't miss his tackles. And but one thing that was normally quite crucial for a hooker is I didn't actually check what his line-out stats were.
Right. So don't worry too much about the detail.
I'm sort of a hooker around the field rather than his nuts and bolts.
Sort of Trevor Leota. Don't worry too much about the set piece, but my God, you want to make an impact in the field.
Exactly.
I thought Malcolm Marks was sensational off the bench. And I stand by what we were saying at the end of the Lions tour, which is that if you are in an arm wrestle with South Africa with 10 minutes to go, you basically might as well check out, tap out.
Yeah.
They just find, I mean, what they did to Wales in that last 10 minutes, I thought was so unbelievably physical. The other guy I was going to give a nod to was Ewan Ashman.
Yeah.
Off the bench for Scotland. What a finish that was.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, there were
He's
quite
the one
a
that
few,
got away from Eddie Jones.
There was quite a few good performances off the bench, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the finish of, you know, just being in the right place of the Newcastle hooker. Forgive me, I've forgotten his name.
Lemire.
Yeah, who came on and scored off the back.
Isn't he?
Yeah, chasing, well, just good support line, chasing down the middle of the field and being in the right place at the right time.
Okay, so who are we going to go with? You can have the call on hooker.
Well, I'm going to...
You're going with Wenger.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, Malcolm. Sorry, Ewan. Tighty? Whiteys?
I'm struggling on tighties, to be fair. I'm probably just going to go with...
Sinks. You could go with...
Ferguson.
Zander. You could have Trevor Naikane.
Yeah, I mean,
South African scrum was that massive.
Yeah, but the second half, the scrum, they really dominated Wales in the second half, didn't they? So after he'd gone off.
That's Vincent Koch.
Yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, that it completely changed the game, didn't it? Those scrum penalties in the second half, in terms of just settling South Africa down in terms of field position. So let's go Vincent Koch.
Ben Tamiafuna, purely for the fact that he's
160 kilos.
160 kgs.
No, let's go Vincent Koch.
Vincent Koch. In the row. I think we might differ here.
I went for Flamand for France.
You know, he was playing for Loughborough as a back.
Yeah. I love the story. I love the story. He was like fifth, like in the fifth team or something, and then suddenly I thought his lineouts were outstanding. He made that lovely line break.
Yeah.
It was a tough day because I thought Eben Etzebeth went well, and so did Lude. But then I thought Maro did all right. It was tough. It was sort of tough, but I went for Flamand.
Flamand and 5.
Eben Etzebeth.
So you've gone Flamand and Eben Etzebeth. What about the Scotland boys? Sam Skinner was quite busy.
Yeah,
Will
true.
Skelton back. I suppose he doesn't have a huge amount of time to
I'll be honest. I was out at Sunday lunch in that game, so I've only sort of
glanced. So we're going to be quite heavy on English Tongans.
I've sort of glanced through that game, so I haven't really peeled apart the nuts and bolts of it yet.
Sam Skinner should definitely get a shout out. I went Etzebeth and Atoje, so we'll both put Etzebeth in.
Yeah,
and I think Flamand for the flambe.
Yeah, for the flambe and for the backstory.
Well done, flambe. This is coming together with great science and very data driven, as you can tell, which was ever thus. Back row, we've sort of started getting into that a little bit. Let's have all three of your back rowers.
So it's a mix and match. It's not, I know the rugby purists out there, it's not an actual back row that you play together, but Courtney has to be in there. Thought he was outstanding again, just even if you just say for that, the work rate.
You know,
to get
you were
back.
talking about just like the little bits. You were talking about the hacker. I just love the way he led the team out.
Yeah.
It was just sort of like I loved Lawrence in the day with the tears and all that.
Yeah.
Just sort of like the way Courtney ran out and said, it's just like, just get into it. You know?
Get into it.
Not too much fuss.
It is.
Sort of trot it out.
The laws of Courtney, isn't it?
The laws of Courtney. This is my church.
I thought he was outstanding. I thought Quagga Smith was fantastic as well.
Yeah.
And he got a nose to die. Well, a former nose that I used to love too. And definitely hooking him up when he's finished.
A heavy breather.
And then this is where it gets a bit weird. I've given Watson was obviously man of the match for Scotland. Played outstandingly well, but I thought Gelange for France as well was in terms of the amount of meters he carried, the amount of carries he made, tackles he made. But my first choice was Watson, Smith, and Courtney, which isn't necessarily a.
So you've gone a second row and 2 sevens, and I've gone second row and 2 sevens. So I picked Courtney, and I thought Hamish Watson was fantastic. He's just such a heartbeat at that Scotland side now.
Yeah.
I'm rather sad the mullet's gone, a bit more streamlined.
Yeah.
But he's just sort of like a pinball. Do you know what I mean? You
just bounces and never stops.
You want to keep an eye on him at all times
because
stuff happens around him, and I love that. I thought Ellis Jenkins was absolutely sensational for Wales. And given how little rugby he's played and the horror injury that he's had to work his way back from, apparently he had absolutely no contact training before Saturday. They literally just chucked him straight in, and he was mega.
Well, fair
I think
play.
Tane Basham as well on the open side for Wales is proper sort of raw all out.
Basham's the 7, isn't he?
Yeah,
the
he's the
7s player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Gives away quite a lot of penalties though.
Yeah, but again, another player that you want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, but lively, and it's all about now the leg contact, leg drive through contact, and spinning, and the players that can do that. And as you said, pinballing seem to be able to maintain their feet.
So let's put in Courtney at 6. Not too many arguments, hopefully. Let's put in Watson at 8. Good luck with that. And let's play rock, paper, scissors for Quagga or for Ellis Jenkins.
Well, no, I'm going to give you Ellis Jenkins because of the story and everything else. You gave me
I gave you Flambe. So, okay, we'll put Ellis. I mean, Ellis absolutely sensational and a top man to boot. Not that this will be a huge consolation or pride to him, but congratulations.
Well done.
Your place in our team of the week. 9 and 10.
Dupont with that.
He was in my team, and what an absolute belter of a try. I went through the roof.
And then he got pulled back.
14 minutes earlier, someone had accidentally put their toe on an offside. I was like, get on with it.
Yeah. He's just so good.
So good.
He just plays rugby at a different level. Again, for every 9 that's out there, with all the press defences are coming, you need to be able to have the ability to run and play at the line.
Yeah.
But also be able to step and carry like a machine. And he literally carries as well as a forward.
Yeah.
No one ever gets him down the first attempt.
The jaw as well, just sort of like well set. And at 10?
And at the 10, it was a toss-up between Marcus Smith and Finn Russell, but because Scotland won and he played the full and he started, I'm going with Finn Russell.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think Marcus Smith, sensational, but 50 points up.
Yeah.
Tonga absolutely whacked.
Yeah.
And at that point, they'd had 14 men for 20 minutes, and then they had down to 14 men permanently. I thought the clutch kick from Finn Russell. So I had a chat with Rory Lawson this week, who was going to interview Finn, and we were just bouncing around a couple of things to talk about. And one of the things I really wanted to know is whether Finn Russell sees himself as a maverick in the way that others do, or whether he's sort of not really interested in what others think at all. But I think the sort of maverick renegade label is becoming really ill-fitting for him. When he nails kicks like that in the 78th minute or 77th minute or whatever it was, the way that he put the ball on the boot, the way that he runs things, it's way more than just jouet.
And it's not maverick, it's how he sees the game. He just sees it in a different... I mean, him and Smith see it in a completely different spectrum. You saw it in the Lions tour, where obviously he knows what's coming at him, high pressure. And he was one in that game where he went to drop it on his foot. He dropped on his foot a couple of times, the hole opens up, and then he changes his mind on the split second, or he goes to the line, looks like he's going to drop someone off, sees someone stepped in, I'll just dink it across, catch. I mean, it's not maverick. He's just seeing the game. Some people will say every now and again he'll get intercepted when he throws a huge wanger of a pass. But, but then a lot of the times they get through. Ryan Lamb was very similar when I played with him at Gloucester. If you're playing with someone like Finn Russell or Lammy or Marcus Smith, you've just got to expect the ball. Sometimes it might go wrong, but you've also know that you've got to sweep up because a lot of the time he'll win you the game as well.
Yeah. Well played, Finn. Centres.
I went, obviously it was tough for Italy, so I went Zanon. I thought his carrying, they were struggling in attack, but he had amazing go forward for them, and in a tough job. So I've rewarded him. I thought, other centres that came up well. I thought Manu did well, but I would expect Manu to do well. And with the opposition, so I think the quality of the opposition has got Zanon in there.
I thought Sam Johnson was brilliant.
Yeah,
you were out at Sunday lunch.
Yeah,
but he's
a good player.
He's
Sam
a
Johnson.
really good player, and he's just sort of he does it all quite quietly. He's not a Manu, and he's not a sort of I don't know. He's not even sort of Anton Leonard Brown. He just quietly gets on with his job.
I like those centres because I was probably one of those.
The unseen work.
I like the unseen work.
I thought Sam Johnson was superb. And Slade.
And then I went Slade as well.
You can pick this.
I mean, Slade, the frustrating thing for me is I need to see Slade playing like that in games where it's not Tonga. So this weekend should suit him.
Yeah.
Because the way that Australia want to play the game as well. So it should be high paced, high tempo, quick ball. And that's where we need to see him playing those games.
Back three.
Back three, I went Villiers, France.
Gabin Villiers.
Gabin Villiers. He was all over the place, made loads of half breaks, meters. Melvin Jaminet, kicking star.
You basically just picked France. Did you obviously had a good session on the France-Argentina game.
and then I couldn't decide whether I went May or Radwan, actually.
Right.
Radwan made more meters and looked very, very lively.
Yeah.
It was a difficult one for wingers because there weren't that many breaks. I'm going to go Radwan.
Okay. I stuck in Severis. I mean, again, it wasn't the All Blacks anywhere near their best. I just thought he looks...
Tell you who did play well, who I've completely forgotten about, is Ione for Italy. Monty Ione.
Yeah.
I thought powerful carrying. He made a lot of people miss. And again, in a game where the ball wasn't necessarily in front of him to run onto, he did fantastically well. So I'm actually going to stick him in. I'm going to go Villiers and Ione.
That's a great shout because someone like Severis is always going to score and have a good game against Italy.
Yeah.
It's wrong if he doesn't, all things considered. But I like a man who plays above his station against the best. So you've gone Montiuani, Radwan.
No, Villiers. I've dropped Radwan.
Oh, you've dropped Radwan. Okay. Montiuani. We'll get there eventually.
Sorry.
Montiuani, Gabin Villiers.
And Melvin.
And Melvin.
What a
I
name.
thought Freddie Stewart, I'm really excited about Freddie Stewart.
Do you know what? With South Africa coming and what's coming, I have not seen someone so comfortable under a high ball since Matt Perry.
Love that. Knew you were going to say that.
Rock at the back.
Yeah.
That's a bit harsh on Mike Brown because he was generally pretty solid too.
Yeah,
but
sure.
he looked like it was just easy for him.
Yeah.
Easy. And that you can't underestimate how much comfort that gives your back line in front of you, knowing that if they put a ball up, you're not thinking about, oh my God, he's going to drop it.
Yep.
You're just thinking about, right, we need to make sure we can get behind and clear the ball out if he's getting hit man and ball. And in terms of going into something like the South Africa game, if you can do the same against Australia, you're putting, because even you look at what South Africa did against Wales, a lot of those kicks are poor kicks. Obviously, that try was definitely a try, by the way, for Mapimpi. Yeah. I think I can only explain that as the referee getting Mossart crossed with Eben.
Yeah.
Because Mossart was offside, but he dropped back and Eben sort of filled the space where he was. But TMO shouldn't be missing that. But then I actually messaged Wayne Barnes. Thanks for messaging me back, Barnesy. Really kind of you.
Wow. When even Wayne Barnes isn't returning your calls anymore.
I know. The beast has got Desmond Tutu coming at me, and I'm getting banter about that. And then I can't even get Wayne Barnes on the phone. I mean, what's going on? I know I didn't play any rugby match last year, but you're sort of making sure I'm not going to play this year too.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure whether even if it goes 10 but if it goes 10 and you're onside, it doesn't matter, right? It surely doesn't matter. I couldn't understand how that they got to that decision.
Well,
especially when you literally have Am pulling players back and they all go backwards.
Yeah.
But anyway, even that's going to be the issue. That some of their kicks are now short, and whether they do it on purpose or not, I'm not sure. What about the wheels on Cobus Reinach, by the way, as well?
Quick. But that's not a surprise.
But that was the best tackle that Josh Adams has made on his fellow winger in Reece Samet when he was chasing up and he's run round him. He literally wiped him out as he was about to chase after him. But yeah.
Speed can do funny things to you out there.
Yeah.
So go on and cemented in Montiuani. You've gone back Gabin Villiers.
Yeah.
And Melvin Jaminet.
I've got Melvin Jaminet.
Okay. Should we tot it all up then? Quite a good team, this, actually. Ellis, Loosehead, Fainga, Vincent Koch, Etzebet, and Flambe. It's obviously not Flambe.
Flamand.
Laws, Ellis Jenkins, Hamish Watson, Dupont and Russell. That's worth the admission fee alone. Montiuani, Zanon, Slade, Villiers, and Jaminet.
I mean, and
Some good players not in there.
Yeah,
Actually.
Jalibert played very well.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
And then Dante played well when he came on.
Yeah.
Roman
Ntamack looked a little miffed as he got taken.
Yeah,
off.
he did. Yeah, but you're always going to be.
You win some, you lose.
When you look that handsome and they take you off.
That hair is. That hair is remarkable. That's going to provide plenty of fodder for debate.
Please get involved. Let us know where we've got it wrong, but please do it nicely.
Any other bits of us? We'll talk about lots of this on the main show, which we're looking forward to. I do just want to quickly acknowledge the Red Roses and the Black Ferns.
I mean, I haven't yet. I started watching that this morning whilst I was feeding Lucas, but I haven't watched the whole thing. I need to. But again, to back it up and do it again, I think it was 7 tries again, wasn't it? I think it makes the World Cup next year look very, very, very exciting for the Red Roses.
Johnny Sexton with a ton up for Ireland. Well done to you, sir. We've discussed Courtney. We've discussed Scotland beating Australia. And we will look ahead to the games coming up this weekend on the live show. Owen Farrell back for England as well. Do you think, here's a hypothesis, you know how Eddie likes to test his teams? He's like, cool, we've got 2 years to go into the World Cup. I'm bringing in some new talent, possibly a little later than I'd like to have done. Let's see what they got. I'm going to take out my captain with 24 hours notice and just see how they get on.
Yeah. We obviously spoke about this on the way up, and I sort of championed this around in the green room, actually, that it could have been a ploy, and no one sort of really refuted it and said that would be nonsense. Everyone thought, maybe it could be.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Save it for later.
Well, A, let's save it for later, and B, let's just not set fire to our own feet.
Let's not fuel it.
What we have fueled, though, is the team of the week, and you can help yourself to that and have fun and games. By all means, please leave your own in the YouTube comments below. Do get stuck into that. Quick check on the fixtures this weekend on Amazon Prime. We have got Italy against Argentina. We've got Scotland against South Africa. We've got England against Australia. And on Sunday, it's France, Georgia, and Wales against Fiji, which actually could be quite a lively fixture, that one. You can see these matches live as well as the highlights and the replays on Amazon Prime Video. We will see you next week for another Team of the Week show. We'll do it all again. I've really enjoyed talking about rugby.
It's been nice.
The novel factor is high. Well done for watching. Love and hugs in the meantime. Bye-bye.